Hey, I want to talk for a minute about sincerity, boundaries, I suppose, what's allowable, and what is considered anathema. Um, I come from a family of origin where nobody is actually allowed to be themselves. And I know that many of you experience the same thing. You aren't allowed to be emotional. You aren't allowed to want what you want. You aren't allowed to be needy. You aren't allowed to have strong and strongly articulated opinions. And yet you're expected to pretend that everything is okay. If that all of those prohibitions against your humanity is just normal. It's fine. It's what we do. It's how we get along. It's it's just how we do life. You know, and second guessing every comment that you make to somebody. Second guessing whether you say something, don't say something, uh, ask for something, don't ask for something. Nothing you can do is right. You cannot win. The anthropologist Gregory Bateson talked about this, and he called it, I can't, what was the term he used? I'll think of it in a minute probably. But it basically means you're fucked if you do, you're fucked if you don't. And it's what in family systems we call crazy making. And I, for one, am just so effing sick and tired of it. And it goes from, you know, uh, personal relationships to family relationships to community relationships, like within your church or community group, to your business relationships, to the media and state relationships. So we're supposed to pretend that somebody who is, I don't know, committing genocide isn't committing genocide. We're supposed to pretend that we don't have strong feelings about that. That somehow, well, that's just, it's for over there. It's for state actors to talk about, and how does that affect me, especially if it's happening somewhere else? Well, I'm sick to fucking death of that. I would really like for people to actually think about how, and this came up, I went as a student when I was at CU Boulder to a speech given by Professor Gail Dines, who is a Marxist feminist, quote unquote, eh, who has some probably otherwise good opinions. I'm not sure she's held consistent. This was 20 years ago that I saw her speak. But she said, all of this family system stuff is bunk. We need to talk about society. And all I could think is, hello, did you never study Vygotsky? Systems? Embedded systems? Have you not studied ecology? Embedded systems? Everything goes from micro to macro. It's basic. So yeah, we have to talk about being able to communicate. We have to talk about being able to show a little bit of our neuroses or our anxiety, or maybe not our best side, to people in our family, in our community, at work, and then out in public. In the UK, they're trying to make it illegal to say from the river to the sea, for instance, if you're pro-Palestinian. But why isn't it illegal if you're pro-Israeli? So double standards. All of this comes back to the micropathology between individuals and especially within families. Family systems has to be where we begin, treating, the wounds at home, because then those transgress and become our wounds in the workplace, in the community, whether it's a church group or your activist group, and obviously within local, state, and federal politics, and then international politics. And so, yeah, how do you begin to know when, where, and how you can speak about something if people aren't willing to say, well, your comment shocked me a little bit and I'm not sure how to respond. Could you maybe clarify? Instead of just dead wall. Like, there's just so much of that, and we see that motherfucker Kirby out there. We believe that this is baseless, groundless. Whatever you think about the situation, he should be addressing it. He should be taking it on point by point. We, the public, pay their fucking salary, and you know how they live. Have you seen Darth Blinken's house? It's a freaking mansion. He has a driver. He has servants. We don't. And the people that he's fucking in Gaza, how do you think they're living? Like, I would just really like to see this world change. And I'm pretty sure that it begins at home and with our families. Tell me what you think. So I just remembered the term that I was looking for, which is the double bind. I don't know how it escaped my mind, but it did. And so I kind of had accidentally hit the mirror thing on my camera when I was filming. And so I think it kind of reflects the problem, the double bind. You lose either way. And I don't think that is a sustainable way to go forward. And we need this world to go forward. So we need to start learning how to communicate